I don't even really know how to get into this, but I went to the gym, okay, and I go to this gym that's a nationwide place, and it has 1 hour classes, and I go every day at noon. Saturdays I'll go earlier, but pretty much every day I'm there at noon. And it's, a lot of the same faces that you see in and out all the time. So I've gotten to know a lot of those folks. But almost every day, somebody's there that you don't know. From another city, they're here visiting for whatever reason.
And that's kind of part of the appeal, right?
Yeah.
That no matter where you are,
same workout.
And there's no additional charge.
Correct.
Like you can just come.
That's right.
Once you're a member, you're a member.
If you're a member at their elite level, that's right. That's what they call it. And you can go. I could go to.
Elite.
I'm elite. Okay, let me just say, I bought the elite level. You go to unlimited classes. I could take 10 classes a day if I want, and I could do one here and one in Los Angeles if I wanted to. Okay, that's their thing, right? So you sign up on the app, you come. That's it. So yesterday, I was sitting there. My son was there, and we're sitting there chatting, and sweet little Mustang pulls in and parks right next to my Acura, my 1998. I mean, this is a brand new, beautiful, like fire engine red Mustang. And we looked out the window and we're like, "Woo! Look who's coming here now."
Side note.
Yes.
I will never have a sweet ass Mustang, fire engine red.
Yeah.
But I'd like to take a little bit of pride in the appearance of my vehicles.
I know you do.
And I never park near a junker because whoever's driving that car doesn't care and will more likely swing the door out.
That's right.
And smash into my car.
That's a good point.
So I always try to park next to the nicest car.
That's a good point.
In the lot.
Yeah.
He's exactly right. I think that's something as you get older, too, because I've noticed that in parking lots. I also won't get too close to a junker car now on the road.
Right.
Like if I see one that has a bunch of dents, I'll be like, I'm going to let them go ahead.
They don't care.
Yeah, because they've made choices.
That's right.
They've made choices along the way.
That's
bad
right.
choices.
That's right.
So I'm like,
Fair enough. But he did park right next to me. And it's sweet little Mustang came, a brand new, might have been one of those electric vehicles. I don't know that. But I was sitting there on the bench right beside it, just through the window.
Waiting for the class to start?
Waiting for the class, about 10 minutes before class starts. And a lady I was talking to my son and another lady who I know very well there. And the other lady says to my son, "Hey, here comes your graduation present," ha, ha, ha. It's that Mustang. And my son's like, "Oh, I wish," and we're looking. So this little guy gets out of the car, never seen him before. He comes in. He's like, "I'm from out of town." He signs in. Okay, we got it. So
class starts,
go through it. I see him the whole time, fist bumped him. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, fist bumped him. And at the end of the class, my son ran right next to him. He was on the bike. My son was on the treadmill. They were right next to each other the entire time.
Just new guy.
That's all. I mean, you see them come in. They'll come in for a class or two. They'll go. So at the end of the class, the coach, Kathy, Coach Kathy, she says, "Great class, everybody. Want to thank Frank for coming in from out of town. Hope to see you again. Great job. We all leave."
You're thinking Frank is the Mustang guy.
And he was. And so we go outside. Frank gets in the Mustang, I get in my act, and I have to do the old, you go first.
Yeah.
And we're like waving at each other. And I was like, okay. So later, now
You don't even sit on a towel or anything in that car? You just put your sweaty ass right in the leather?
Right on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care, Frank.
Chatted a little bit. He's like, "I'm Frank, I'll do what I want." And so, sure enough, later, I go to Instagram to see what Biggie's tortured us with this today. And there's the Instagram that pops up and it's one of those story things for the gym. And it's Coach Kathy with that guy.
Mustang
guy. They've got a picture.
Frank the Mustang Man?
Frank the Mustang Man. And the caption from Coach Kathy is, "Want to thank actor Frankie Muniz of Malcolm in the Middle for stopping into our noon class today."
That was Frank?
That was Frank. It's Frankie Muniz.
Yes, no, maybe.
From Malcolm in the Middle, who starred as a child with Bryan Cranston
Beat that.
on Malcolm in the Middle.
You're not the boss of me now.
maybe I would put him up there as one of the most well-known child actors
Oh, I agree.
that's come along.
I agree. So I stared at it then it went on by because it was a story, and I was like, God darn. So I had to close it out and reopen it and everything. I took a screenshot.
Can I screen cap it?
I looked at it and I was
Son,
like,
get in here.
"What? Frankie Muniz? Frankie Muniz." Well, my son, he went out axe throwing last night.
Well, he had a time.
Yeah.
He's axe throwing, waiting for the.
Yeah, that is the
Travis
thing. Yeah.
Scott
Travis Scott
LP,
to drop.
axe throwing.
So I texted my son and I said, "Are you familiar with the show Malcolm in the Middle?" And of course, because this show came out in the early 2000s.
When did it end?
I think it was 06. I looked it up afterwards last night. I think it was like 2001 to 06, something like that. And so I texted my son and said, "Are you familiar with Malcolm in the Middle?" He goes, one of my favorite shows of all time. I've watched every show multiple times streaming. And I was like, well,
wow.
I said, well, hold on to your socks. You were running next to Frankie Muniz.
To Malcolm himself.
Malcolm. And I texted the picture of Coach, and he's like, what? We had no idea. So I texted Coach Kathy, and I said, was that the Malcolm in the Middle star?
Frank the Mustang guy?
Frankie Muniz. And she said, yeah, he told me quietly, please don't make a big deal that I'm here. And so all she said at the end was thanks to Frank for coming out today. And so at the end of class.
Never to return?
I don't know. You never know.
Is
I doubt
he here
it.
for a weekend, or is
I don't know.
on his way through?
Biggie says he's a NASCAR driver now.
Yeah, once you had told us last night via text, oddly enough, I went to his Instagram.
Yeah.
And I said, because I guarantee you he was here for some type of appearance that'll be promoted. He's an ARCA driver. That's kind of like single A baseball.
Okay.
In NASCAR. He's definitely trying to move up. He's had some sponsorship issues, but he's a really good driver.
Yeah.
And he was here for Ford, unveiling some type of new Ford Mustang.
Well, there you go.
And
maybe that's what he was driving.
So
maybe that was it.
We're in North Carolina, and he was at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Okay.
And that's where. So I guess he did the class, and then must have zipped down
there
to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and because there's a video on his Instagram promoting, hey, thanks to Ford for having me out here. We're about to unveil their new some type of race ready Mustang.
I couldn't believe it.
I wonder, because we're not too far from Virginia International Raceway.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
almost halfway between
that's
that and Charlotte. Maybe he was doing an event there,
and maybe stopped in,
did a few laps.
Yeah, he might be there. These drivers have promotional stuff. You see him race on a weekend, but their week is filled with visits. So I could easily see him possibly doing Charlotte yesterday, up to Virginia International Raceway today. And,
I watched that show for 2, maybe 3 seasons. My son says he's watched every episode at least twice. And I fist bumped him.
When you looked at the photograph, Kelly, on social media, did you say, oh, I see Frankie Muniz? Or you thought, well, I mean, because, you remember, you freeze people in time, especially child actors.
I think you wouldn't, because I would have.
I never would have.
He has a beard now, obviously, and stuff. I think if you know the show, I'm a little surprised your son didn't get it.
I know. If you know it,
I mean, he's just a guy.
I would never, ever have said it.
He's a fit guy, but he's just a guy.
He's also he's really little. He's short, like actors are,
Yeah.
But I saw him, and I never would have said it, no. But once you say it's him, it's like, oh, yeah, that's him.
Then you see it.
I see it. Then you see it, right. But I totally missed it when he was there. And I told Coach Kathy said, I texted her, he said, and she's like, he didn't want to make a big deal. And I said, I would have been all over him. I would have just been like, tell me about Malcolm. Brian Cranston. I love Breaking Bad.
I
love Breaking Bad. That's what I wasn't on that.
I wasn't on that show.
Of course.
Hey, Malcolm. Remember Seinfeld? He was on Seinfeld, too.
I would have said all of that stuff. I'd have been.
What would have been funnier?
Oh, you're still little. What?
He is still little. That's a little guy now. He really
would have been.
Oh my gosh, you're so little.
I would have loved it if at the beginning of class, right after you've said your hellos, but it's just kind of the mystery fella in the Mustang.
Yes.
If Coach Kathy had said, "Look, I don't want to give away too much, but we got a special guest here in the crowd," and you stand up slowly.
Yeah.
I didn't bring enough shirts for everybody. I'm sorry.
I'll take one picture.
Look, I'll do pictures after.
One
that's
picture,
okay.
that's it.
I've asked Kathy not to do this, but
Kathy, you said you weren't going to single me out.
Come on, Kathy. And doggone, there's Frankie.
I got some can huggers in the trunk, maybe. I don't think I have enough for everybody in the class, but I'll hug you.
I'm rubbing shoulders.
Tag me on Insta.
I won't know how to read it. I'm sitting there next to Frankie Muniz. I have no idea. He was in the middle. He was between me and my son. He was literally in the middle. Nothing. I bumped fists with him, but I didn't know I was bumping fists with him.
Do you think, if you had to guess right now or place your bets, will you cross paths with that man again?
Well, I'll tell you, I signed up for class today. I wasn't.
Just in case.
Today's my off day.
Yeah.
Today's my off day. I signed up for it anyway. My legs are jelly. I'm going in again today on the off chance that Frankie Muniz.
You're never going to believe who's with us today, folks. Not again.
I wonder what he thought of you.
Oh, God.
I mean, because you are so tall.
Oh, God.
And just next to him.
Oh, right beside him, too. I was all over it. Oh, yeah.
Just slinging sweat on a star.
Yeah. Big time. I was sweating yesterday. It was a very hard workout, too. So, I missed it. I skimmed it again. So did my son. Nobody knew. Nobody said one word about it.
I really think unless your mind is in that
I
mode
agree.
of thinking about it, you wouldn't know.
But that's exactly what he wanted, though.
Yeah, he got it. He got exactly what he wanted because she never said a word except for the end where she said, "I want to thank Frank for coming in today," and
And she called him Frank.
Yeah, she did. And even if she had said Frankie, because they do that all the time, they were like, Vera's here from St. Louis in for the weekend. That's all you hear.
Just Vera.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you get.
Just another elite level.
Just another elite athlete. Elite level, premier athlete. That's what we do.